Hello, hello, and welcome. Welcome on into the swear word. I'm your host, Brandon Swear, and hey, this is a podcast for the Chilean community by the Chilean community. Regardless of your spice tolerance, this is the place for you. Up tonight, we have an amazing episode on deck. We have two sauces that are featured on Hot or Not, as well as an amazing guest locked and loaded, and a very fun first ever edition game added to the mix. So, episode 167 starts now. What's going on, Swear Nation? So glad to have everyone here, whether you're tuning in on YouTube, Spotify, Rumble, and or Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for being here and continuing to make this podcast what it is. If this is your first time checking out the show, thank you so much for being here. All the way to those that have been rocking since day one, thank you OGs that have been holding it down. And as we wrap out 2025, I cannot thank y'all all enough for everything that y'all have done. Up tonight, we have two sauces on deck for Hot or Not. These are both from Hardcore Hot Sauce. One of these is a limited run, and the other is a relatively new sauce, once again, from Hardcore Hot Sauce. So looking forward to jumping on into those, as well as I have Natalie from Hops and Hot Sauce Festival here as our guest tonight. We're going to be learning about how Hops and Hot Sauce Festival got started, where it's going, what to expect for this year, and many other things along the way, as well as some great groups on Facebook to be able to get plugged into if you're really into hot sauce and checking out hot sauces from all around the world. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and jump on over to Hot or Not. What's going on? Welcome on into Hot or Not. If this is your first time checking out Hot or Not or the podcast, I do things a little bit different here. I don't do a 1 out of 10 scale. I do a 1 out of 5. That's really based off of 5 different categories. Those categories are heat, aroma, flavor, versatility, burn. Add those up, average them out. That gives us our total swear word rating. Now, other thing I do not like doing is reading the ingredients ahead of time. I like to let my taste buds do the exploration and really figure out what I am picking up, and then we learn all together what those ingredients are. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and check out the very first sauce. The first one is the holiday special limited edition item there that you can get, and then we have one of the newer sauces out of Hardcore Hot Sauce. This is the Outlaw Veni Stigma sauce here, and for those that are keeping track, this does have a perforation pull tab on the side. Wow, beautiful aroma. All right, so let's go ahead and give this one a good pour. Bright red color on the sauce. Big heaping tablespoon. From an aroma standpoint, very smoky, very earthy. You're definitely picking up the pepper notes. It smells like a little bit of onion, a little bit of garlic. All in all, phenomenal, well-rounded, savory aroma coming from this. So cheers. Oh, man. Smooth, savory, nice little depth of kind of like a creamy note. And as that creamy note really carries forward with that savory body, it's a smooth transition into what tastes like maybe some nice smoky notes of some peppers going on in there. You're definitely picking up a little bit of some onion or some garlic, or maybe it's both in there. But all in all, that main note that you're picking up here is a phenomenal, very earthy, smoky pepper note that you're really carrying forward. Nice savory body, like I said, with a nice creamy texture and feel to the mouth. All around, a very amazing sauce here. Now, if you're just starting out, this sauce you could definitely get away with enjoying and not worrying about burning yourself down. You're gonna feel the overall heat, but I would say this is definitely going to be more geared towards those individuals that are just starting out, all the way to those that are pushing themselves and wanting a super tasty sauce. This would go great on just about anything, but the first thing that popped to mind on this would be tossing this into some trail mix or tossing this into some popcorn and making a nice spicy snack in that regard. This would go great on tacos, enchiladas, quesadillas, burgers, sandwiches, pizzas. You name it, this is going to go phenomenal on a nice savory dish, not one that I would be leaning into for a dessert. So all in all, phenomenal stuff. That is the Outlaw Veni Stigma sauce from Hardcore Hot Sauce. Let's go ahead and read off some ingredients here. Guajillo peppers, red jalapenos, smoked paprika, onion, garlic salt, chili powder, vinegar, and water. Love the labeling. Love what's going on here. Once again, great visual pop, great overall delivery on the aroma, the flavor. Definitely a great one. Do not sleep on that. That is the Outlaw Vinny Stigma sauce from Hardcore Hot Sauce. All right. Next up, we got to check it out. This is the holiday special. Nice, beautiful, deep, kind of like a light, deep green to this. I know the lighting is kind of making it not look quite that, but nice, medium consistency, good flow once it gets going. I mean, so far, it's just looking like an absolutely banger of a Verde. So cheers. Man, oh man. All right. Smooth. Definitely a little bit more earthy. Now the heat's starting to come on. Okay. So definitely smooth, earthy. A little bit of maybe a garlic note to that. But for the most part, it's just mostly that pepper note, a little bit of the garlic, and a nice little savory body. Can't tell if that's like cumin or what that is, but there's some level of kind of like a spice. Maybe that's cilantro. I don't know. I'm really trying to pick up what that savory note is, but definitely picking up the onions, definitely picking up the garlic. Now, once again, if you're just starting out, you could get away with this one, but using in moderation is definitely going to be key here. Between the two sauces, I think the holiday special is just a little bit hotter, but all in all, phenomenal stuff. Both have phenomenal flavor. If I had to say one stood out more than the other, that Vinny Stigma sauce there is absolutely phenomenal. And it's one that you're going to be able to get year round, as to where the holiday special, once it's gone, it's gone. So if you see it on the website as available, go ahead and check out that holiday special. Otherwise, that Vinny Stigma sauce right here is going to be an absolute home run. I can see this going great with like soups, stews, sandwiches, burgers. This would go great drizzled on top of some nachos, on top of some fries. If you enjoyed the products that are featured here on Hot or Not tonight, I'll have the direct links down below for those, as well as a link to the main site so you can check out the full lineup of amazing products from Hardcore Hot Sauce. But let's do this. Let's go ahead and jump on over to tonight's discussion. Hey, Natalie, how's it going?
Hello, how are you?
Doing great. Glad to have you here. Obviously, we had the pleasure of meeting out at the Houston event. That was a lot of fun. Spicy Planet. You kind of got to see a little bit of the vendors that were there for a first time thing. It was a lot of fun, and obviously having the pleasure of meeting you. So glad to have you here.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Well, one thing I always like to lead off with, which is what got you into the world of hot, and then what was that moment where you decided, you know what, I'm going to start my own spicy event?
Well, it's sort of I can make it short, but basically, I have always loved Mexican food, love salsa, like spicy things. And we had the Houston Hot Sauce Festival that was here in town that was like going on 20 something years before it ended. And my best friend and I would go every year with our family. And the year that they stopped it, there was some things that happened. She is a PR major. I was marketing. And we said, you know what, we could do one of these. And so we started researching into, okay, what can we do? How can we get these spicy vendors? And so we just started reaching out to people. And it was a little hard to get vendors at first because the Houston hot sauce had there were some problems and people got burned and didn't want to take a chance on a first time event. And so we found a venue, a brewery that we knew, and who was willing to let us do the event there. We only had about 12 vendors, and about 2 weeks before, we were actually going to just cancel. And they said, you know what, do it. You got to have a first try. And so we did it. And so we had our first event. It wasn't huge. We tried it at 2 days, ended up next year going it down to 1 day, but we got our first year down. And so that's sort of how we ended up with starting the festival itself. And never would have thought we'd made it to year 10. And so here we are.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on 10 years running. Absolutely. It sounds like a lot of fun. And yes, to that extent, it's always one of those like regardless of what you're doing in life, it always seems that paradox it ends up rearing its ugly head in situations where it's like people want to see that you've had you've either done this before or you've had all this experience in this area, right? But
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
can't have experience in an area if you can't get the whole thing started. So it's
Start.
it's 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 strange how that always plays out.
Yes. And so, yeah, we started it out. We started our company, Nick Nat Promotions. Nicole was my partner, my best friend, and we started doing the festival. Started meeting people, finding there was a lot of Houston-based hot sauce makers, some of which are no longer around. But we reached out to Texas people, and we've got 75 vendors or so, and um, then Mikey V, what a great friend. I've met so many nice people and have a lot of friendships that I've built over the years doing the festival and just being involved in the spicy community.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. But I guess one thing I really wanted to kind of touch on briefly there is as you got started, I know you said you started out with a reasonably, moderate amount of overall vendors there. But I guess how did that kind of flourish? Did those initial group, I guess, were some of those like pretty solid relationships that were built upon that, and then others were just like
Well,
kind of a flash in the pan?
yeah, so we started joining all the hot sauce groups online, um, and as much as we could, and started networking that way, and advertising the festival and getting known, and through that, I started meeting other people. It sort of trailed, and like Melissa for the love of hot sauce, we became good friends online before we even met in person. And so that built. And then I started going to other events. So I went to Zest Fest several years in a row. And through going to Zest Fest, I was able to meet a lot more vendors that were Texas vendors and some from out of state, even. Um, and that just sort of built our next year. After we had that first year, people were more willing to come, and there wasn't another spicy event in Houston. Of course, now there's several little ones that have popped up throughout the year, but I mean, ours right now is the oldest hot sauce festival that's been continuously going in Houston,
Yeah.
and we've got the market for it. I mean, it's a huge city, and I mean, we've got the spice market for sure. There's plenty of vendors here. There's a ton of Texas vendors, a lot of good hot sauce makers in Texas too.
Yeah, and perfectly said in that regard about the whole state of Texas, the presence, the people showing up from both those that love spicy foods in general, all the way to those that are just out there creating product. I have noticed, and it sounds like you also are seeing this and experiencing this as well. It is mind blowing, and it has, I'm sure, a lot to do with the fact that Texas is just so big in general. And even though, like, the DFW area, the Houston area, the Austin area, the San Antonio, all these, like, it's almost as if it's a sub state, right? Just because of how many
Yes,
people are crammed into these major metropolitan areas. And because of that, there's so little exposure to a lot of these Texas brands in general.
that's
Um,
true.
and it's wild.
Every year, I mean, even this year, I've had at least three or four that are brand new people I've never heard of reach out to me and say, "Hey, we want to come to the festival." Salsa makers that I'd never heard of, and they're just across town. I mean, well, I say across town, they're an hour away from me, which with Houston, it's huge, so
Yeah.
it's still Houston, but yeah, and it's just shocking because I'm like, "Who is this? I've never heard of this," and then going to other events like the one with Spicy Planet. That was neat. And actually, I knew most of the people there, but there's still somebody new that I found. And you just never know where new hot sauce people are going to pop up. It's
Yeah.
it's it's growing for sure, and it's unfortunate. I've got some good ones that have had to close down. Um, but I guess
Yep.
people have families, people have other things, and a lot of them, this isn't their full time job, like me. This
Yeah.
isn't my full-time job, but I just enjoy it, and I like the community, and anyways, it's just fun.
Yeah.
It's always a good time at the festival, and I mean, I like other festivals because then I can go play. At mine, I have to work.
Yeah.
So, but
Well, hey, at the same time, at least you're having fun while you're doing it. I guess in that regard, while you are actively there for the Hops and Hot Sauce Festival and you're walking around, I'm sure you're kind of checking on everyone, overall kind of gauging the flow of things. Are you still able to really go through and check out the different vendors that are there and have, really that kind of full experience? Or are you really letting that kind of be more showcased and highlighted for all those attending?
so I try to go. I do talk to everybody that's there. Sometimes I don't get to sample everything, and then at the end of the day, I'm like, oh man, I didn't get to try this person's sauce or whatever. And sometimes I've missed a couple,
Hmm.
but I try to if they have hot sauce or something. So, but the problem is everybody wants to give me the spiciest stuff. They're like, try this fire hot sauce, and I'm like, I like hot sauce. I love spicy stuff, but I'm more like a mild medium top, like the fire stuff, it's too hot for me. And
Yep.
so I guess I need to build my tolerance. But anyways, yeah,
Well,
so I try. It's a joy, but I mean, I did the math and I don't remember what the number is, but literally if I spent 5 minutes at every vendor, I mean, it's longer than the festival even is. So it just doesn't, I do the best I can to talk to everybody and get to know them. But yeah,
yeah.
it's hard.
That is the paradigm. Because I've noticed it and felt it as well with just different events in general, whether it be at North Texas Hot Sauce Fest or Zest Fest or a Spicy Planet. Even I mean, there's and then quite a few others that I've kind of popped in and had my time. Whether it's just me enjoying the event or me out there kind of recording some content as well as enjoying the event. Go in there with a strong mental game plan of I'm going to go talk to this vendor for X amount of minutes and this vendor for X amount of minutes. And I'm going to,
It goes by so fast.
yeah, it does. And it flies
Yeah.
by. And the next thing you know, that 5 minutes turns into 45 minutes. And you're like, okay, well, I got to move on to the next person. Then you kind of feel bad for breaking up that conversation because everything's going so
Yeah.
great. But, you got to be able to see who's new, see what products are new and what's really
Right.
exciting, those that are out there creating these, overall different hot sauces, spicy products in general. My favorite's always like getting blown away by a new overall creation of some kind of like a spicy snack that I didn't even think about. God,
Yeah.
so wild.
Yeah, yeah, that is fun. And I personally, my degree's in marketing. I like looking at people's bottles and the
Hmm.
artwork, and can appreciate when I see something that's really when they're clever with the whole line, especially if they have stuff that matches or good colors. That's always fun to see.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of that marketing aspect, that grab, the attention to detail, one of the, I guess, more recently new to me companies, also, I guess, recently new based on our last conversation, was Cane's Hot Sauce. I love the overall simplicity of the front labeling, the grab to it, and,
Mhm.
really getting to know Jason and get to understand that it really resonates well that he came from that coffee side of the business because ultimately
Mhm.
you can see that in that overall front branding. It's what you would expect to see at a mom and pop roasting type of coffee shop, right? So it's very
It's
cool.
good. It's cool that you mentioned him. I have not met them in person yet, but they are attending the festival this time. And they're another one that we were talking about, new people that I'd never heard of or met before, and they'll be there. And I'm looking forward to trying their creations for sure.
Oh yeah. That he I just recently had him on, reviewed two of those sauces there. I will definitely say if you love a nice pickle based hot sauce, check out his pickle sauce. And if you like
Oh,
a
I
more
sure
Asian
will.
style hot sauce, check out that Yazui. Absolutely
Okay.
amazing stuff too. So
Ah, okay. I'll have to make sure to remember that.
Yeah, yeah, a lot of fun. You know, I mean, there's so many, and very true to what you're saying. There's so many that it's like every time you go out there to these events, it's like there's a new company from Texas that you never even knew it was, you know, in
Hmm.
existence at that point, and all of a sudden they
Right.
just blow you away with something great. So it's
With
great
something
things to see.
flavorful. And the new, like Wicked Provision has a new wasabi
Yep.
jalapeno sauce, and I was able to get a bottle of that early on, and it's really good.
Oh yeah.
It's very good. And I'm not great at describing the profiles, which is partly why I don't review hot sauces online. I'm like, I like it or I don't.
Yep.
I'm like, I'm not a chef, so all the flavor details is not something that I'm well versed on, but um, it's good. And that's a new one that, I don't know that anybody else has something that's like that. At
Yeah.
least that not that I've seen.
Yeah, no, I was
So,
blown away by that. I got to actually try that one in person at North Texas. Once again,
okay, cool.
it was phenomenal. And there is a gosh, I'm trying to recall what it was, but there's a different iteration. It's the same sauce, but minor tweak. And I don't know if the other one has been openly, put out there, but I got to try that one too, and it was phenomenal as well. So yeah, great stuff coming out of Wicked Provisions, and always, I feel bad for anyone that's not in Texas because that queso from Wicked
Oh my
Provisions
gosh. I
is
was going to
so
mention that.
good.
It makes me mad that he's so far away for me because every time we see him, like we got to have the queso, and that's one of the things I tell people about. You've got to get Adam's queso, uh, the hatch chili and the elote both. Like our family, I get those two for sure. There's the new one that he has that I'll be looking forward to trying.
Yep,
He's actually one of our sponsors this year. He's sponsoring the door prizes we're going to be giving away. He's one of the vendor sponsoring those presents.
very
Presents.
cool. Very, very cool. I like it. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
I guess what's the process? I know oftentimes there's quite a few that are watching and listening that are, they do make their own products, they do have their own company. So like how do they go about getting in touch with you to say get plugged in to be a vendor at your event?
So basically, if they just text me, call me, or email me, I usually put out there that I'm starting to accept applications for the festival. A lot of these people I know already, and it's automatic. I know they're coming. It's just a matter of them signing up and doing all the stuff to be on. But I mean, it's really simple. It's just a form. I send them a link. They sign up, and then we get going. And I mean, we've got over 24 this year hot sauces. I haven't counted exactly, but then I've got barbecue sauces. We've got the seasoning people. We've got the queso. We have all jellies and jams. If you like spicy stuff, there's something spicy for you. And even for the people that are mild, more like me, like I love jellies. Give me a good spicy jelly. And even the hotter ones I'm okay with because they're sweet. But
Yep.
I mean, I've got some great companies, Brenham Kitchens from Houston.
Mm-hmm.
They're one of our sponsors too, but they've got a big lineup of salsas and jellies. They've got like spicy nut mixes and dried fruit. So if you are healthy and want snacks, I mean, there's things like that. There's popcorn people that have spicy popcorn, pickle spicy, habanero spicy, cheesy spicy, like just different kinds of spicy popcorn. So there's all kind of snacks, just whatever you like. You don't necessarily have to have hot sauce.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of it too, is seeing the wide array of just different products that are in the space out there. Something that also kind of came to mind in that sense is as these vendors are signing up. Obviously you mentioned that there's some new ones that you have yet to really had a chance to get to know. Like, what is that process typically like for you? Do you ever kind of get the product ahead of time, or some kind of a representation of what the company is before they sign
So
up,
some
or?
Not really, because I don't like asking people like, "Hey, if you're going to join, send me some stuff to try."
Hmm.
We've done silent auctions in the past, and so they've had people that have donated items. There's some people that send me items because they're like, "Hey, try my stuff." But typically, no, I pay for most of what I try. Um, so it just depends on the person. I'm not sold on doing the silent auctions this year because it's a lot of work, and it's a
Yeah.
lot of work after the fact. And I found that people, if you don't catch them right then and there, they back out of the sale. And
Hmm.
there's been numerous years where I've personally just paid for the items for the donation, and because people back out, and it's
Yeah.
just a lot. I don't know if we're going to have the silent auction this year at the festival. But then the other thing is we do TV tapings. So I've been on some of the Houston shows like Houston Live, Great Day Houston, and been able to showcase items. And so when that happens, I do ask people, like, if you want to be aired on air, send it to me. And like how I have these up right now, I just chose these because there's some I like, and then I've got the hot sauce holsters, of course. But if they want their product on TV, ship it to me, and I try to put out as much as I can. Sometimes it's just a few seconds of view on TV, but
Yep.
it's there. And any little bit of exposure to me is any exposure. So,
Yeah.
it's good to have something than nothing. So we'll see. I do have a couple of things that were in the works to line up for Houston shows in January.
Very cool. And for all those that are, curious, they've been listening to this point, what is the exact date and what is the time frame at which the festival is running?
So it is Saturday, January 24th at the Humble Civic Center. We are outside in the pavilion, so we're not inside, but in January in Houston, it really doesn't matter. We are undercover. So if there is rain, I mean, we've had rainy years. We've had days that are beautiful like today. It just really depends on January weather.
Yep.
But Humble, Texas, 11 to 5. If you come early, we're doing free birthday cupcakes for the first 100 people to help celebrate. So we're really making this a party for our 10th year. And so we'll have birthday cupcakes. So if you want a cupcake, be early. I'm doing the door prizes, as I mentioned. So all day long, we're going to be giving out presents, and I'm calling them door presents. And I've got things from like this Hot Wheels hot sauce car, which some people are collecting. And it looks like a hot sauce bottle. I've got dog toys that are hot sauce bottles. I've got coffee mugs, all kind of little things that are hot sauce pins. I've just been collecting hot sauce stuff. And so we're just giving away presents, letting people celebrate with us. You never know what you're going to get. It might be something good. It might be a bottle of hot sauce. It might be a hot sauce holster.
Nice.
You just don't know. But I've got enough to give like at least 20 an hour. And we're going to be giving, it's going to be fun. So, I mean, we're trying to hype things up for everybody and give them something else to look forward to, and just join in the fun. I mean, those little hot sauce cars, I've been having fun searching for them. Every time I see Hot Wheels, my husband's like, don't we have enough already? And I'm like, nope, we've got a lot. I mean, I've got like, this one's a fajita truck. And then I've got a couple that are, if you collect Hot Wheels, people know about the special issues.
Mm-hmm.
I've even got some special issue ones that we found, and some that I've purchased. So some people will get some really special gifts. Some people, it'll be a hot sauce car. But either way, it's going to be fun. I've got stickers in the bag, so I've got vendors that are sending me stickers. So it'll be a nice little present of a couple little things.
Yeah.
Some people will get money off the food trucks. So you never know. It's going to be fun, and there'll be good prizes. So
absolutely, tons of hot sauce, spicy swag going on there. I like it. It sounds like a lot of fun. And as far as for kids, is this going to be a family-friendly, family-open event, or what does that look like?
So kids under 16 get in free. I have some bounce houses. We have usually there's chalk in an area for them to ride on the concrete because kids just that's easy. There's cornhole and stuff. We're doing a kids coloring contest, so they'll actually get a prize. And we did it with the bacon festival that I have, and where they color their things. We picked the best one, but everybody gets something. So that's fun for the kids. And then they can play while their parents are sampling the good stuff. And so, yeah, definitely kid friendly, dog friendly. People can bring their pets. It's outdoors. And, I like seeing the dogs come through. That's always fun for me because I love dogs. So I'm like, oh, look at the dogs. Look at the cute. That's always fun. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I cannot picture. I love my dog to death, but I could not picture him out there. I would have to have his stroller with us and everything, and it's a whole Hey, it's extra storage. It wouldn't be the end of the world.
It is.
He's a little bit. By that point, will be 10 years old, and for an English bulldog, that's quite old. So I don't know if he would end up making the trip, but definitely Definitely sounds like a lot of fun, and looking forward to that. I guess one thing that kind of popped up in my head, because obviously all these events, around the whole entire state, throughout the United States as well, that are happening. It's always been one of those things very similar to the headaches and the woes that can kind of come from being a hot sauce company in general and just trying to figure out the pain points. But as far as putting on these events, putting on the different festivals, etc., I guess what has been kind of one of your biggest learning lessons while trying to kind of set this whole thing up and get it going?
Being patient, because even people that are my friends that are hesitant on, or not hesitant, they delay on signing up. That's one thing I'm like, okay, guys, I know you're coming, but let's get this legit. So I know you're there. Advertising, because advertising isn't cheap.
Hmm.
And even though you can do Facebook advertising, getting the advertising in Houston, trying to get the word out, because even though Houston is a big city, I mean, you still have to do the advertising ahead of time. And so that's something that we work on a lot. Sponsorship sometimes is hard to get because people don't want to give money.
Hmm.
And things have to be paid for. And so that's something that's a hardship. And that's harder. It takes a little bit more patience and work to do and to put in the time so that people understand that their money's going to go to a good deal. Like the back of my shirt, for example, I'm not going to show you right now, but I all the logos of the sponsors are on the back of the shirt. I wear this shirt all the time.
Uh-huh.
And so literally it's a walking billboard for all year long.
Yeah.
And so anybody that sponsors, their name's on this shirt. We'll have new shirts this year. I have not released the design yet, but all of our sponsors for this show will be on the shirt. And I just I repost everybody's stuff that I see, especially if somebody sends it to me. It's easier if they send it to me as opposed to me finding it, because it's hard to literally go through all this. I mean, I've got 75 vendors,
Yeah.
over 75 vendors, and it's hard to literally have to look specifically for people. As I
Hmm.
see things, I try to share it. And the more I share their stuff, it helps them, it helps these small businesses, it helps the festival get recognition that these people are going to be there. And if it's something you like, um, then hey, you can go here and get this product, especially if they're from out of state, or not out of state. I do have a couple from out of state, but like Steve, Hot Sauce Holster,
Hmm.
he's going to be at the festival this year. So if you want a hot sauce holster, you can see all of his lineup of hot sauce holsters. He can make you special hot holsters like this. He's making me some special ones for this event. This is one I just liked, the design. So
Yeah.
I have several. This is one he made me one year,
Very
that was
nice.
special, that was specific for me, unique. Nobody has one like that one. And so, you can meet some of these people and meet the makers in person, which is cool. And that's one of the things I enjoy. That's why I like to go into other events, because I literally can go visit people and sit and talk to them and not feel like I need to be working, or I need to go take care of this, or it's time to start the contest, or it's time to keep things rolling.
Yep,
So,
absolutely. I have golly, probably now I think three different holsters, one of which Steve made, and the one that Steve made, I use it every Thanksgiving, every Christmas, and pretty much any other time that I have a major event going on that I need to have some hot sauce at the ready. And so, normally if I have more than that, I'll just kind of like either stuff them in my bag, stuff them in my pockets, whatever the case may be to get the job
yeah.
done. But I keep eyeing those bandoliers that he makes.
Oh my
That would
gosh.
be,
Except it's be so heavy, because
yeah, well,
that's my problem is carrying. Like, I like to connect them together and have two
uh-huh.
hanging from my purse. But what I found is I taking the hot sauce out and just having them on there so I can show them to people without having the extra weight. Because when you start adding multiple hot sauces onto them, that's the weight of it. But yeah, it is nice. And I always tell people, when you can have your hot sauce, people are like, hot sauce holster, what's that? They always
Yep.
get a kick out of that. It's
Yep.
always a fun conversation starter.
Absolutely. And it's perfect for that. And then it gets people either excited about the idea or because there's that group of folks out there that absolutely just love the idea of accessories. It doesn't matter what the accessory is, they love having them. And so being able to have that around is great marketing for whoever's making the overall hot sauce holster at the time, right? But at the same time, it's also great to be able to share or showcase the hot sauce that you have with others in that regard, because then it continues
Right.
that exposure, much like you were saying with the marketing thing. And so being able to market yourself, get out there, and companies as a whole, it's like you may not have ever intended that your products would be shared or showcased
Right.
in by way of like that kind of not that indirect kind of word of mouth, if you will. And that's oftentimes some of the best marketing that you can grab, because it's not being shoved in your face. It's not being like it is just more genuine. It's authentic. You're actually getting the real pulse of whoever
And if
has
we're
that.
eating it, the fact that I have it and I'm trying it and I like it also is testament to that it's good, because I'm not going to be like, here, try this sauce if it's not good.
Yeah.
And a lot of times when I've taken sauces with me, they don't end up coming home with me. They end
Mm-hmm.
up, whoever, like, oh, you really like it, you can have it. I can get more, and
Yep.
sharing the love of sauce, because I mean, I won't lie, I have a lot of hot sauce, and so I don't mind sharing. And I like to give hot sauce as gifts, because especially ones I like. Um, I mean, speaking of Mikey V, his taco sauce is so
Uh-huh.
good. And that's one of the things I like sharing our Texas makers, because um, if it's a good product, it'll speak for itself when they try it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean that's exactly what I did on Thanksgiving. Is I loaded up a cooler bag with just simply so I could have one quick satchel to have everything in it. But I just lined it with probably, golly, I think I put at least 14 different bottles in that cooler. And then on Thanksgiving, because I had to go to four different stops, well, really three different stops, but the ended up pulling all those out, set them on the counter, encouraged everyone to try some. I even separated them based on, heat, if you will. And it was fun watching people get in there and trying different ones. And, my sister may come over and say that she really likes this one, or family friend says they like that one. And yeah, it's very true to that same, regard of like, okay, well, if you love it, then go ahead, please take it and
Yeah.
enjoy that. And, you grab yourself some more once you run out of that. So,
And the thing also, you can show people, because a lot of people that aren't into hot sauce per se are scared of trying hot sauce.
yep.
And I usually have some that are not quite so hot. And I guess it's flavorful. You don't also have to pour it on your food. You can cook with it. I cook with hot sauce all the time. I marinate with hot sauce all the time. So there's more applications besides just dumping it on your food. And a lot of people, that they're just scared of like being too hot. And they
Yep.
find that once they taste it and see, everything's not burn your mouth spicy.
Yep, absolutely. And we're in that perfect time frame of the year where it's a little bit cooler outside. You're seeing a lot more soups, stews, things like that. And it's already dangerous territory to be a hot sauce in this household. Whenever I'm eating something, because I like to go excessive with the amount of hot sauce on my food. But even more so when it's like soups, stews, etc. Because
Hmm.
oftentimes the whole bottle is going in on my big heaping bowl. So,
Yes. So I tell my family, like, when they're going to use one, like, it makes me so mad when they pour the whole bottle. I'm like, you better save me some to taste. Like, save me a little bit of that, because I want to, if I haven't tasted it yet, like, I've come home and had people cooking with my stuff and they poured the whole bottle. And I'm like, I wanted to taste that like by itself. Like, come on,
yep,
don't take all my hot sauce away.
yep,
And then now my son, like, he has favorites, FPS.
hmm
I'm not sure if you've had them, but they've got one of his. I actually bought him some to send to college. Like, I surprised him when we dropped him off at college with some hot sauce for his apartment, because he likes that sauce particularly, and like that way he had some for his new place where he's living. So um, yeah, we find the ones we like, and I tend to have some favorites, but.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
try
no.
not to, try not to discriminate too much. I try most everything, even if it's hot. And I've had many hot sauce makers. Oh, this isn't. It's not too hot. Just try it, and then they laugh at you if you try it. And I'm like, dang it, that was hot. Yeah.
Well, hey, it's I personally don't mind it. I do know typically whenever I go get ready to show up somewhere, it's always fun. I'll get messages from if I announce like, hey, I'm going to be at this event or that event, I'll get messages saying like, hey, you're going to stop by here, and then I'll get a message from somebody else that knows that vendor, and they're like, oh, they're going to try to kill you with this one, and I'm like, all right, well, here we
Oh,
go. Every
now
time
you
I'm
know.
like, here we go. Let's do this. So,
Yeah, I usually say, let me start with your mild. Like, I'll start with your mild or milder sauces, or tell me which one, bestseller ones. If it's, if and I'll tell you, if it's the super fiery hot, I don't try those because I know my tolerance of heat, and I don't want to have to drink a gallon of liquid to try to combat it. I did my first League of Fire challenge recently,
okay.
and I was scared to death of that. I did it with the Fiery Queens.
Mm-hmm.
That we have a women's sort of League of Fire group, and oh man, I was really scared, like, oh, because it's going to be horrible. And it was one of their chugs, and honestly, I did two of them, and I was thinking that burn time, my first inclination is to grab something to drink.
Yep.
And I had to remember, okay, like you have to wait till the burn time was over. But honestly, I probably could have done two more of them, maybe.
Oh yeah.
But it wasn't as bad as I thought. But I also didn't go with the most spiciest challenges they have out there yet. But that was fun. And if I built my tolerance up a little bit, I think I'd probably do a couple more. But I don't know. I'm not going to be like number one in the League of Fire. That's for sure.
Yeah, there's definitely a time and place for that, and the overall drive and passion to be that person. But yes, very much what you're saying. I will gladly do the challenges and enjoy it. But the overall aspect of me seeking out to be at that top of the list is not something that I really have a desire to do or to I guess really chase after in general. But
Right.
yeah, I don't. I'm not one to care to like shy away from all that. I'll definitely do it. I just avoid certain things like anything that's like fish related. That's not my forte.
Right.
So I avoid those, but that's just for a solely different thing. It's not anything to do with the heat. So,
The
but
heat.
fun
Well,
stuff.
speaking of the spicy challenges and eating hot stuff, we do have our hot pepper eating contest. Now, it's not eating the super hots, and I may have some super hots um, involved this year, uh, but we'll see on that. But normally it's jalapenos, and we make a cool trophy. The trophy this year is going to be different than our prior trophies. They used to be beer can trophies that were a different design every year. I'm changing that up this year, so we'll see. That I haven't unveiled that yet, but that's going to be a surprise of what that's going to look like. But they're just jalapenos, and they have whoever eats the most jalapenos in this 2 minute time or whatever time we end up setting for the time. And oddly enough, we've had one female win. That was probably our third or fourth year. And then the last like 5 years, I believe, we've had the same person win. And you got to meet Ron at the Spicy Planet Challenge. While he did not win, he was still in the top four,
Yep.
but he's literally won all. He's got like a whole lineup of my trophies in his grow room, and he actually grows some really gnarly peppers, really crazy spicy stuff. He
Yeah.
he just eats them. He's one of those people that can, and yeah, I just like to watch it and laugh. But that'll be interesting to see the contest this year. Like I said, I may throw in some spicier peppers just for fun for year 10. We also have a spicy food eating challenge. It's been pizza some years. Um, Last year we had a spicy egg roll. So one of
Oh.
my vendors makes these egg rolls that are like, they're fat, they're huge. And they spiced up those egg rolls. I mean, literally bottle of like super fire hot sauce and powder. And so I haven't decided what our food product's going to be this year. It may be pizza again. Um, Mikey V actually spiced up our very first few, and I mean, those ones, just smelling those things was lethal, and it made some people were after effect. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
you know
Oh
what
yeah.
happens. I don't know. Like I said, I just like to watch it. It to me, it's sort of funny. It's like it's fun, and they can enjoy it, and I just get the kick out of it. But anyways, we'll have a special trophy for that too. And anyways, these spicy food, spicy noodles. Um, maybe, like I said, might be pizza this year again. We'll see.
All right. Oh, I'll be keeping an eye out for that as well.
Yeah.
And it's something that you had mentioned earlier is being able to, and when you started out the overall festival, reaching out, getting plugged into these groups. Now, I know that you have For the Love of Hot Sauce. Now, I guess for
Yes.
those that are curious, what can they expect when they go find For Love of Hot Sauce on Facebook?
Okay, so for the love of hot sauce, you know what we do, we have a lot of fun on that group. And how I got involved with them actually was joining the group. I became friends with Melissa and some of the other people in the group. And when I met Melissa at Zest Fest, gosh, 5 or 6 at least years ago now, um, man, in person, we just kicked it off. She's one of my best friends. So sweet. Actually, all of our group of admins we're all really close. Um, but she asked me if I wanted to be a part of the group, and I was like, well, honored first off, because I was like, okay, yeah, sure. And so then I got to start helping with it, which led me to meet more of the makers that were out of state, and even like people from out of the country, and becoming with like League of Fire and Shahina and that group. I got to meet them at Zest Fest, and so for the love of hot sauce, we're one of the largest hot sauce groups on Facebook. The fun thing about our group is the giveaways, and literally just about every few weeks, there's something like you can win some kind of hot sauce. And it's really simple. Usually, like right now, we're doing the 12 Days of Christmas giveaway. You literally like the post, make sure you're following the maker, and somebody wins hot sauce. And it's great for the makers because they get exposure, and they just have to ship a product to somebody, and it gives other people opportunity to try these products. We're doing the football challenge right now, or pick'ems, I think is what Daniel calls them. um, you pick 5 or 6 winners out of the list of who's playing that week, and whoever gets the most right wins whatever sauces are being given that week. And we appreciate all the makers who donate their sauces because they don't have to, and but they are kind, and they have fun with it too. Actually, a lot of them play the game as well. I actually won one week this year, which shocked me because of football. As lucky guesses, and then I tied for first twice. I didn't win the draw, but I mean, so technically 3 times I was top. So you never know. And I don't really know nothing about football. It was more of like I look at the stats and sort of guess, and got lucky. But
Yep.
I was able to win some hot sauces, and so it's a lot of fun. I mean, just join and give away. You get to meet other people from around the country. Like all of our admins are from different places in the country. Um, Melissa and Dave Schuster are the only people I've actually met in person. One of these days we talk about having a meetup at one of the, like in New York or Chicago, one of the other events that we all want to go to. Because let's face it, if I could, I would travel to all of them just because it's fun and I want to see people and meet people, and that part of it is really a joy to me. And all
Absolutely.
these relationships that we've made online, like I knew who you were, but I'd never met you until you happened to be here in Houston for that other event.
Hmm.
um, so you just never know who you're going to end up meeting at these places, and that's fun to me. And like Steve is like one of the greatest guys, and he goes to all the festivals, and that's how I got to know him, was going to these events. And um, it's just a joy. It's like a spicy family, and I know people say that, and it's sort of like, oh, so yeah. I mean, it is. We all are friends with each other, and we take care. We ask about people's families. We like to see people's growth, know what they're doing. And when people are in different areas of town, like I got to meet Spicy Shark when they were driving through Houston a couple years back. I mean, so like, we just met up here in Houston, and um, so you just never know who
Yeah.
you'll get to meet and
Now,
becomes friends with. And that's really cool.
That is the cool part there, and yeah, for a lot of folks that haven't been able to experience that in person, it may sound a little bit silly or what have you, but it's a totally different atmosphere. And being able to really be able to tap into the camaraderie that is formed during these events. Not to mention,
Mhm.
obviously, you have your online presence and what you're doing, and everyone kind of knows, loves, and supports in that way. But it's a totally different vibe when you're there in person,
Mhm.
and it's a lot of fun. I keep on like I know my wife will always see it, and it's like it just energizes me. I don't know how else to say it other than it just gets me excited. It gets me going. It makes me just want to just jump around and bounce around all the walls and have a lot of fun. So yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah,
it's a
I'm
different
like
beast.
when I've gone to the other festivals like Zestfest, for example. You're there from start to finish because they're just and it's still not enough time to
Yep.
visit with everybody. And so that's what I enjoy is the friendships and talking to people and getting to know everybody and sauce is more like a secondary because it's good and you get to learn about sauce and salsa. Some people have some really great salsas and it's hops and hot sauce or
Mm-hmm.
for the love of hot sauce, but really both the event and the Facebook page celebrate all things spicy.
Yep.
And so you don't necessarily have to like hot sauce. You can like salsas. And there's several makers that have really good salsa. Adam has some very great salsa. Actually, one of his red sauce is we went through it really fast. It's so good. And it's just like a good red salsa. If you like restaurant salsa, perfect. Mikey V has the bacon salsa that
Mm-hmm.
is fantastic.
That primo
And I know
salsa.
there's others that I'm not thinking of like offhand. Yes, that one's a little bit spicy for me.
My problem
He's
with
got the
that
hatch
is I
chili
crack
one.
open the lid and I get the bag of chips, and I will get the first few scoops of chips, and next thing you know, I'm taking the jar and drinking it like a nicey
Those jars don't
spicy
last.
michelada or something.
They don't last long at my house. We eat through them really quickly. I was trying to think of who else that makes the salsas that I like, but I know those two are pretty on the top of my list
Yep.
for salsas. And who else we have? Hardcore hot sauce. I know you had Warren on recently.
Yep.
He's almost a relative of mine. Did you?
It,
I don't know if you knew that or
did
not.
not know that.
So his sister is married to my nephew.
Okay.
And so, yeah, my oldest sister's son, they've been married a long time. And in, I guess, 2020 or so, when Lauren started, um, my sister said, "Hey, Laura's brother wants to know about your festival because he's making hot sauce now." And I was like, "Yeah." So he comes to the hot sauce festival, and I know him really well now too. And yeah, so he's like almost family,
Nice. Nice. Yeah.
which is cool. And I love his advertising. It's nice. I mean, it fits the name. His products are hot.
Yep.
They
His
are they are spicy. Um,
great
so
flavor
I like
too.
it. So
Two of those are
great
featured
flavor.
at the very front half of this episode. So for everyone that it may be just now tuning in, you'll be able to catch that as a separate scorching and swearing, as well as a product review on the front
Yeah.
half of this. So
Yeah, his stuff is good. Old Bones Chili Company, I'm sure you've had them. They have a chili oil. So if you
oh
like
yeah,
cooking, we use that chili oil all the time. Fish, chicken, like it's got good flavor. It's got some heat. That's when you talk about other products that are not just hot sauce, that's something you can find at the festival. A lot of seasoning companies, Cowboy Spice Company. I don't know if you've met him yet.
oh
He'll
yeah.
be at my event. He's come numerous years, but he's got a huge lineup of seasonings, and we cook with his stuff all the time. And that's one of the things I like to do is use the products I know. And when I if you see a picture of on my website or on my Facebook page or on For the Love of Hot Sauce, and it's got food and a product, I guarantee you it's because I'm eating it. And it's not like set up for marketing. It's because I'm cooking with it or I'm eating it and I like it. And I like to promote like, and I'm not paid for, nobody pays me to advertise. I like sharing the products I like. And
Yep.
it's, like I said, it's helpful to everybody. One of our new vendors this year, and you probably met him at the other event, Spicy Planet, is the Interstellar chocolates. And
Hmm.
he's got those chocolates that glow
Oh,
in the
they're so
dark that are
good.
so cool looking. And yeah, he gave me I'd had some of the mild and the spicy. I had the ones that are just regular chocolates, and if you like chocolate, they were all delicious. I mean, I
Oh
don't
yeah.
lie, but the spicy ones were actually really good, and they had enough kick. And even the hot one, I didn't find it so hot that I was opposed to it. You know,
Yep.
it was okay. I still ate it all.
Yep.
That's for sure. I
Oh
didn't
yeah.
stop.
That
We
that's
have
some
some
good
good
stuff.
barbecue sauce vendors too, that are coming. So there's, like I said, there's all kind of stuff. Scoville worming is another Houston here. Have you had Scoville worming yet?
Uh,
That's
I
that's
I don't
that's
think
one of
so.
our family favorites. That's a good all-purpose sauce that we love. Um, anyways, there's just so many. I see these names and I'm like, Headstone hot sauce.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a good lineup. And
Absolutely.
that's another Houston one. Who else? Texas Heartland.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been winning some awards lately, and he's one of our sponsors that's coming to the festival. He's got some jellies that are fantastic, and one of the things I like to do with his jelly is we take like sausage and cut it into like little coins and put it in the pan with jelly and just eat it with toothpicks or eat it with a spoon or whatever.
Nice.
Um, that makes a good like appetizer snack, and it's something that if you're going to a party or something that people like, you could probably do it with the little smoky weenies, but um, people love it because it's got the sweet and the spicy kick, or you can use it on cream cheese. So that's something that he's got some good products too. Um,
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, something that you also had mentioned, or really, I guess more or less, you know, it's already in the name for the festival itself, and this is going to put, you know, dovetail perfectly into a very fun game. But as far as the hops side of the festival, how many, you know, overall different beer representatives are going to be there, and what does that kind of look like?
so in the past, we've just had one. This year, I decided that it was hops. It's time. We've talked about it a long time, but this year it's finally time to ramp up the hops. So I've got three breweries coming that are local here to our area, to Houston, um, that are bringing beer. We've got Megaton Brewery. I've got Final Gravity Brew Pub. He's giving samples of beer. So he's not selling beer. They're just coming to sample, but he will have a spicy pickle beer, which I find interesting. And then we have Lake Houston Brewery, who's just right down the road from me. And so those are our beer providers this year. Something cool we have for people that don't like beer. I've got a new wine company that's coming,
Okay.
and it's not spicy, but it's they're from San Antonio. They're called Floravino flower wines, and they're made with flowers, no grapes at all. It's all flower based wine.
That's very
um,
cool.
and then if you like spicy drinks, we have Backwood Salons coming, and they're going to have spicy margaritas and a couple other spicy concoctions that they'll have. So if you don't like beer, there's other drinks. If you don't like to drink, there's lemonade and coffee, and some people they'll have snow cones even. I mean, so you don't have to drink if you don't want to drink. The beer's there if you like hops. If you're a craft beer enthusiast, you can try multiple of these beers in one place without having to go to each brewery, because you can't buy some of these at the store.
Yeah.
But they're good. They're good local places. Actually, I tried some of Final Gravity. They're a fairly new brewery, and I'm not sure when they opened up. I want to say a couple years ago, but they've got one that's like a fruit punch based
Mm-hmm.
beer. It's like it's sort of fruity if you like those type of beers, because I prefer that type of beer if I'm going to drink beer.
Yeah.
And then they had one that was like the seasonal right now that's got a raspberry kind of tint, and that one was really good. So he'll have the spicy beer to sample if people want to
Okay.
come out and try that one.
All right.
But yeah, so we were trying to bring the hops. It's hops' turn. We got the spice. We've got so many spicy vendors. I wanted to ramp up the beer side. You know,
Yeah.
that was part of the plan for this year.
Absolutely. I
New
like it.
year, new beer for
I
our
like it.
10th year celebration.
Okay. Well, you know, I think that's going to dovetail, like I said, perfectly into this here game. And this is the first time that this game's ever been shown. So let's go ahead and jump on over there.
All right, let's see.
All right, well, here we go. This is the first ever iteration of Ranked and Reckless. So, this
Oh
is going
goodness.
to start to become its own little segment outside of the podcast, but it's going to make a debut every so often for those that are guests to be able to play. And I don't know if you're familiar with this, but in case not, I'll go ahead and break it down for you. I got a whole bunch of, in this case, this is going to be all different types of beer, not really
Okay.
alluding to a brand specific, but just different types and variations of brews. So, S tier is your top echelon tier here, A, B, C, D, E, and all the way down to F. Now, there's no set parameters of you having to have X amount of S or A or B. It's just however you personally see and prefer these. And I'll go ahead and get the
Okay.
disclaimer out there now. Just because a certain beer type gets a lower score doesn't mean that it's absolutely horrible. This is just simply based on your own personal preference here.
Okay.
All right.
I'll try to do my best. We'll see.
All right. Some of these I will say I have also not tried. At least I can't recall trying. So
Yeah, from
we'll
what I can see there, there may be some that I'm not familiar with as well, but yeah, I'll do my best.
fair enough. All right. Well, we'll start out first with sour beers. So where would you like to put sour beer?
You know what? I would say normally I wouldn't think that was good, very good, but the fruit punch beer that I just told you about was a
Uh-huh.
sour, and it was actually really good. So I would say like A and B. It's like right up there where you were, like I
Okay.
mean, yeah, that's
What
probably that was really
A or
good
B?
beer. You know what? Do B. Let's do
All
B.
right.
Because
Slated
typically I'm
in.
not a sour beer person, but that beer was very good.
All right. I like it. Let's move on to the next one then here. Belgian style.
Belgian style. For me, if I'm remembering right, that's probably sort of a stronger beer. I probably would go D, just from what my memory of the last time I had a
All
Belgian
right.
beer.
D it is. All right. Next up, we'll go with Amber Ale.
Amber Ale. You know what? There's one that I like that's local here to our area. Let's put that one. Let's put that one a B.
All right. Simple enough. And let's go with next a stout. So a nice
Stout.
darker.
Okay, I won't lie. The stouts don't do it for me. They're too strong. That would probably be an F.
All right. No worries there. This is where it gets good. I guess the main way that that I have ever had stouts and enjoyed them is if I'm doing like black and tan or something like that, where it's not just a straight up stout. You're kind of getting a little bit of best of both worlds in that sense. So,
Yeah.
all right. And now next up is a dark lager.
Another dark. Let's go with E on that because those are usually strong too.
All right. B it is. And well, this one I can't recall trying, but a cream.
Hmm. You know what? I probably would. I might would like that. I've never tried one like that, but let's put that one at C because I tend to like lighter based, and if it's creamy, that might be good. And depending on the flavor, like especially if it was, um, yeah, let's go C on that one.
All right. What about a porter? Porter is up next.
Porter. You know, I don't really know what a porter is. Um, I'm horrible with names. Same with like wines. If you like, don't ask me what kind of wine I like. I just like wine.
No worries.
Give me a different kind, whatever. Porter, you know, I just don't know. Let's just go middle of the road C because
All right.
I don't. I'm not sure.
I like it. Safe and fair. How about a saison?
What is that?
That
I've
is
never heard of that
typically a
at all.
lighter APV beer. Oftentimes these got very popular for the idea of like having these as like a midday beer or a lunch beer because it didn't really
Hmm.
interrupt your potential chance of working the rest of the day.
Okay, so let's do this. Can you? I probably would like that if it's a lighter beer. Make that a B and move the sour to A. Can you do
Okay.
that?
Yep.
Can I switch one around?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's go ahead and we'll do that.
Because man, that fruit punch beer was good.
All right.
Obviously it stuck with me.
Yeah. All right. What about an amber lager? So not an amber ale, but
Amber
amber lager.
lager. You know, amber beers tend to be okay. Let's put that one as at B.
All right. Got that there. And then we got a Bach.
Bach. You know what? Let's do D because
All right.
I know like everybody. You probably heard of Crawford Bach. No offense. I guess I shouldn't say names out loud, but
No worries.
it tends to be popular around here. But it's not really one of my favorites that I've tried.
All right. What about a Vienna lager?
Vienna. What's the difference between that one and a
This
different
is
lager?
so this one in particular is going to be similar to like a Yingling. It's going to be kind of that, almost that. It's almost kind of like an amber lager, but it's just a little bit different. A little bit
You
more
know what?
crisp, a little bit more light in the overall taste.
Let's put it at C. I
All
would
right.
try it, but I don't know because that's a maybe. I don't want to say I don't like it because I don't know, but I don't know. I wouldn't call it a favorite because I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll
No.
try. I'll try that one.
Fair enough. This
Sounds
is
like I need to learn about beer types.
there's quite a few here. As
There's
I
a
was
lot.
creating this game, I was like, I don't know, this might be too many choices. And then, of course, just trying to make sure there was a nice representation of everyone. I think I left off maybe 5 beer types, and I was just like, because this was already way too many for what I was
Let's see.
looking to.
Wheat beer. That would probably be a B.
All
I've
right.
tried some that are wheat that are okay.
See, I personally, I mean, I don't dislike
I
them.
mean,
I just don't like
I
the
have
way
to
they
say
react to my body. So,
I'm not 100% sure. You know what? I don't drink enough to where I notice that part of it. So,
yep.
but it's more for me about taste. If it tastes good, I'll drink it. And I tend to like the fruitier stuff better.
All right. Well,
IPAs,
IPA.
IPAs, put that one number one. A lot of the makers here that I am familiar with that I do drink from,
Uh-huh.
I like the IPAs. Some of those are really good, and they do some unique mixes with those.
All right. I like it. Pale ale.
Pale ale, probably A, because
All
if
right.
it's, I tend to prefer the milder. Those are good.
All right. How about a brown ale?
Brown ale, probably. Let's go D, because I don't know that I would drink. I would prefer the light over the brown.
All right. Mexican lager.
Mexican lager. Oh, but that's like when you put it with a michelada or something,
Mm-hmm.
probably, right?
Yep.
Yeah, put that on A.
All right.
Those can be good. Of course, that's mixing it with something, but
Yeah, I mean, like simply a Dos Equis, a Corona, all these things,
yeah. That's what most of us started on is like a Corona and lime. So,
Yep.
yeah, that's an A.
All right. American lager.
Probably. Let's go B.
All right.
It looks like I drink a lot of beer, judging by like my answers, but I'm not quite as big of a beer drinker.
There's enough to be able to, and because I get that all often too. It's like because now I guess really over the last probably 2 years or so, I haven't really drank much. I'll have a day here or a day there for like Thanksgiving, Christmas, some kind of a celebration thing. I'll maybe have a drink or two out with friends or family, but. Yeah, for the most part, not really what I'm all about anymore these days. But that's not to say that I haven't tried these things in some point in time in my life. So do understand that. But all right, let's do a Pilsner next.
Pilsner. I'm trying to think what is the profile of a Pilsner? Is that more mild or strong?
That's
I'm trying to
also
remember
very
one that I've tried.
kind of like light, a little bit more floral almost. Typically is what it's not
I hate
super
to keep
strong
ranking
flavor.
a B, but that probably would be more like one that I would try.
Okay, so a B is what you said.
Yeah, let's go B.
Okay. And then last but not least, we have a Dunkel. So this one,
I have
the
no
example
idea.
here is like Samuel Adams.
Samuel Adams. That would probably be a D or an E. We can make it E.
All right.
It's not one of my favorite beers. I mean, I know they have some good ones, but they're that's a more stronger.
All right. Well, that's the first ever game of Ranked and Reckless. So, overall, it looks like a nice breakdown here. And as to be expected, you're kind of seeing the overall chart breakdown to be pretty evenly represented as you would expect,
Yeah.
with a higher amount kind of being in that B and C range and just tapering off from there.
Well,
So,
apparently I need to try more beer. Some of those I haven't tried. I've never heard
well,
of.
hey, it's no worries there. It's a lot of fun to be able to at least crack into this game here. Pun intended for that beer
Yeah, right.
topic, but going forward, for everyone that's watching, listening, you might start seeing some that are rating different hot sauces or hot sauce styles, or maybe breaking down different peppers, or kind of going through that whole avenue. And so it should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that game in general, and
Yeah,
I think
that was fun.
I
Interesting.
think it'll be nice and entertaining. So very cool. All
Well, it
right.
definitely makes me think about different types of beers that I haven't tried because while we are a hops festival, um, I'm not very well versed in beer, and we have the same ones that we tend to drink. When I do drink beer, I don't buy a lot of beer, so
Yep.
it's just,
Yeah.
if
No.
I'm
I
going to
mean,
drink, I'll have an amaretto sour or something sweet.
yep. Yep. No,
That's
it
my
makes perfect sense to do that, and to not really veer too much off of the norm of what you would like. Definitely, if it's not. I guess definitely if it's not a big portion of what you like to do, anyways, it's like you wouldn't really want to venture out too much in that avenue, anyways. So,
Well, I
uh,
am finding of interest, like a lot of these craft beers, you don't think of, I didn't before think of beers like the fruity ones, like that. I didn't think about the fact that you think of a Coors Light or a Miller Lite like we drank when we were younger, and you were just we go buy something at the store because we're 21 and we can buy beer, and you buy a bunch of it because it's cheap. Um, all of these new breweries that are making these different fruity, they're grapefruit or orange or different fruits in them, and some of them are quite good. Some of them are interesting in a weird way, like as it's okay and interesting, not something I would seek out. But then like some of them are really really actually quite tasty.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Okay, all right, all right. Well, this last little part here is we're going to start off with a nugget of knowledge, and I've already kind of asked what I was intending on asking. So I guess I'll reframe it in a different way. So for those individuals that are, not familiar with, just what to expect when going out to, I guess in this case, Hops and Hot Sauce Festival, what at a high level should they expect to see, do, and just enjoy?
Well, as we've talked about, we have over 75 vendors. I mean, it's hops and hot sauce, but it's really a foodie event. So if you like food, if you like cooking, if you like eating, we have pretty much something for everybody. We have entertainment things to do, like we have a free photo booth that I pay for, so you can take home a memory. So go take some pictures with your friends or your family, and you bring home that photo that you can have. I should have brought one to show you, but if you look on my Instagram, you'll see some on there, because I've got every year, last except for last year. Last year, I never. When you talk about do you have time to see everything, I never made it to the photo booth. I was like, I didn't even get a picture at the photo booth, like we do every year. Um, so there's things that, I mean, that's something that, especially for kids, it's fun to do. People wear their hats. Um, there's food trucks. We have several popular Houston food trucks will be there if you like pizza. We have a hamburger that Foreign Policy. This is one of my favorite food trucks. They make a hamburger that's got a donut bun, crazy, but it's delicious. They also make some fantastic Korean loaded fries if you like Korean food. Like, so their thing is Foreign Policy. They've got Greek food, they've got American food, they've got Mexican food, they have and the Korean line. So you can get all their stuff. We have Saucy Nosh has these big fat egg rolls. So if you like egg rolls, they've got a brisket mac egg roll that is like fat and fantastic. They make some sweet ones. I've got a pizza. It's called Refill Station. They have some great food. One of our vendors is Say Cheese. They've got cheese curds, and they come from up north. These cheese curds are so good. They're fried, and they've got different dips you can get, whether you want sweet or you want a spicy ranch. They're fantastic. I'm trying to think of who else. Food. Um, the curds. We have somebody that makes pralines. We have cakes, cake pops, stuff like that. Um, there's music. So if you like music, we'll have the DJ playing. So when we're not doing entertainment, there'll be music. We have a cooking demo. That's new this year. And so one of my friends, he's Houston's happy chef, Daniel Vercher. He's going to be doing a cooking demo. And that's new for 2026. DJ, photo booth. We have somebody that has beer soap. So if you like, that's beer. They use different beers from different breweries around, not just Houston or Texas, but around the country. And they make their products using those beers. So that's
Wow.
cool. If you like to cook, there are several seasoning people who have a fantastic line of seasoning, salsa, food. If you just want to sit around and just watch people have fun, we've got the pepper eating contest. That's always a big fun draw. And like I said, I just like to watch people suffer. I guess it's funny and it's entertainment, and I like watching that. But then come hang out, visit with their friends, sit, and there's a mechanical bull. My 85-year-old dad will probably ride the mechanical bull. He does almost every year, and it's funny. They're like, "Dad's on the bull," and they're like, "What?" Like, he gets on there and he rides the mechanical bull, which is, like I said, he's 85, so that's fun and funny. But anyways, yeah, it's kid friendly. People can bring their family out. There's no NFL that day, so we've made sure that it's not going to interfere with the football lovers. You can get your spicy goods for the game on Sunday. Get your
Very
chips.
cool.
There's Pain Train Salsa is actually, I want to mention, they're our only vendor who's been every year, and they're Houston based, actually north of Houston, Tomball, but Houston's big, so
Mm-hmm.
they're in out in Tomball. They've got their own production facility. They've got a green salsa that is just absolutely fantastic that I love on fish, and you can get it at like Specs and HEB and Whole Foods. So you don't have to go to an event to get it, but they will be there. Like I said, they're my longest running vendor. They also have their own line of chips. Anyways, there's, anything you'd want for your events to cook with. Um, there's something for everybody, really, and you don't have to like spicy stuff to enjoy the festival.
All right. Well, I like it. Great nugget of knowledge there for all those that
Yeah.
are wanting to get ready and get plugged into hops and hot sauce.
And the thing is, you can always try stuff. If you're afraid of heat, start with the mild line. A lot of people have them lined up mild to hot. Work your way up. You don't have to go all the way to the hot side. Just, try a couple, and you never know. They may find that they can tolerate a lot more than they know.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the next part here is the hot seat nomination. This is someone that you think would make a great guest for the show.
Hot Sauce Holster Steve. He is a lot of fun. If you've met him, I love Steve. He's a character. He's got a great family. He's got a great product, and these hot sauce holsters are pretty cool. You got Hoagie on this one. Just another, not from Texas, but another good hot sauce company.
Absolutely.
Anyway, Steve would be a great one. Have you talked to Mikey V?
So
Mikey's sweet.
I actually need to get him on here. We had something lined up, and just timing had kind of slipped away on that one. So yeah,
great,
definitely
great
need to
family,
reach back out.
Veteran. You could almost have like a Texas theme night of all kind of Texas people. Who else we got? Old Bones, if you talk to them, they're really really nice people. Pain Train Salsa, Shane, I could hook you up with him. He's a really nice local guy. Grew up here and in the Houston area. But yeah, we've got trying to think of who else would be who likes to talk about hot sauce. I
Yeah.
know I'll think of somebody to send you to. I'll say
Yeah.
I can think of somebody.
Yeah, yeah, no, absolutely. Steve, I'll be reaching out. We'll be setting up a time to have you on the podcast. Mikey will be reaching back out, setting something up, as well
Yeah,
as
get them on there.
getting Old Bones on here as well. I know both Old Bones and
Yes.
Mikey, we've been kind of going back and forth, getting that all ironed out, but it's just been a nice game of tag on the scheduling. So we'll get all three of those lined up, and I greatly
Everybody's
appreciate
so
that.
busy.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're making their sauces and they're attending events and everybody's got their families and but I know they would probably enjoy sharing the love of hot sauce with you too.
Yeah,
And I know
absolutely.
that I enjoy sharing it and I thank you for having me on and to be able to talk about the festival and some of these makers that are good and that anyways.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, the last part here is greatly beneficial for those that are just audio only listeners. Where can they find you? How can they find you? And then plug away anything you want to.
So I'm on Facebook, on Instagram, um, on Twitter, but I don't really use it so much. For the love of hot sauce, if you don't know about the group and you like hot sauce and you like winning things and just being a part of fun, some people just show what they cook all the time. So it's funny. You can sort of see, what certain people like. You start to see what they do. Some people, they always are showing what their food is. Some people are trying new sauces. Some people buy a lot of sauces and are always saying, "Hey, I just got mail call." Those are
Mm-hmm.
always fun as the mail call sauces. Um, so for the love of hot sauce, you can find me and join the group. It is a private group. You have to join. You have to answer a couple of questions. They're easy. It's not, we hardly ever turn someone away unless it's a bot. Um, we hardly kick somebody out unless they're being a jerk. We do have to kick people out sometimes. But we like to keep it clean. We like to have fun in the group and give away a lot of sauce. There is a website for the festival. It's hopsandhotsaucefestival.com. So you can find information there. Tickets for the festival. If somebody wanted to buy tickets, they're on Eventbrite and just search Hops and Hot Sauce Festival and or events in Humble, Texas. And it's Humble with a H. A lot of people don't know how to say it. It's just one of those weird names in Texas. And they can get tickets there. They're $10 at the door. If they look at my Facebook page, like right now, I'm doing giveaway, like it's 50% off for tickets for stocking stuffers. So you just put the code stocking in the Eventbrite code and you get 50% off tickets. But with your ticket, you also are going to get prizes. Early people get a free cupcake. And you get access to all of these good Texas vendors and you can support local because after all these people are just small businesses that are trying to make it and trying to share their products with the world.
Absolutely. Natalie, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on here. There's still so much more that we can dive into. So I'd love to have you back on.
Well, thank you for your time and thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Natalie, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It has been an absolute pleasure having you on. If you would like to keep up with the Hops and Hot Sauce Festival, I will have the direct links down below for all the ways that you can keep up with her in that regard, as well as to the For the Love of Hot Sauce will also be tagged down below in the description. And if you enjoyed the products that were featured here on Hot or Not, I will have the direct links down below for those, as well as link to the main site so you can check out the full lineup of amazing products from Hardcore Hot Sauce. And hey, want to say thank you all for those that have just recently found the podcast, all the way to those that have been rocking since day one. Thank you for everything that y'all do. If you're on a platform that allows for a 5-star rating and review of the podcast, please go ahead, send those in. That helps us get ahead of the algorithm and get in front of more chili heads and individuals that are just curious about the world of hot, because this is where you can find everything to do with the world of hot. Have open availabilities for the podcast for sponsorship. So if you're looking to sponsor the podcast any which way, go ahead, reach out in that way, and we will get that conversation started via the website. That is theswearword.net, or on socials. Also, if you have already joined to be a Swear Citizen, or you're looking to become a Swear Citizen, that is also on theswearword.net. Down below, it says Join Swear Nation. Go ahead, sign up. There's going to be a lot of fun and easy insights on what to expect, upcoming guests, etc., all in that group. So go ahead, check that on out, as well as want to give a quick shout out for our current sponsors, podvision.io. If you're looking to grow your brand, start your brand, you've hit a bump in the road, you're trying to figure things out, highly recommend checking out podvision.io for all of those needs, as well as webdx.one. Maybe you have an online site, maybe you had a guy at one point you lost contact. Highly recommend reaching out to webdx.one. Best of all is that you get to focus on what you do best while they get you looking great online. I'm Brandon Swear, and from everything from the world of hot, this has been The Swear Word.